Welcome to Murders and Minivans, where the coffee is cold, the kids are wild, and the crimes are absolutely unhinged. I'm Stephanie.
And I'm Tally. Let's talk murders, motherhood, and why we trust absolutely no one.
Well, that was a fantasy book I read today. I so much like her style of writing, and I'm just going to look it up because I just finished it today and I put it on Goodreads.
Oh.
And I've read her. I like that Rachel Gillig.
Oh, yeah. Wait.
Probably not what you've read. She only writes
fantasy?
Yeah. So she's done One Dark Window, which I loved. It was a duology, Two Twisted Crowns.
What is that one?
The Night and the Moth.
Oh.
That's the one I just finished reading.
Okay, no, I haven't seen it.
No, and it is a duology, but it's not out yet.
Oh, okay.
And I really like her style of writing.
Mm-hmm.
And she doesn't write a ridiculous amount of books. She has these 4 published, and she's written them well. It's clear that she's thought out her story. Her characters are well developed. Each book is a different magic system that she stays very consistent with the whole book through. I really like, and her banter is normal, and her characters are good. I love her writing.
Oh, okay.
So I've actually...
Very good praise.
I know. I've actually pre-ordered, and I usually take out books at the library first, and then I will buy them if I really like them. And I've actually pre-ordered her second book.
Ooh, look
know.
at that.
I know.
I've only ever pre-ordered politicians' books.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's really dorky of
me. It is dorky. But if that's what you want to have on your shelf.
Oh, God, I love it. How was your weekend? How was Malacca?
Malacca. It was fun. The kids had a good time. E said she loved the food, which was funny. Mm-hmm. So we stayed till 9, and so we got to see all the dances, have dinner, and then there were more dances, which was very cool because it's such a wide range of age. So there's little kids from 4 and 5 to adult dances. Yeah. So it's really fun, and it's so colorful, and it's just really, really well done.
I worked with a guy who, I think I told you, he Ukrainian danced. Since he's a kid.
They're very fit, and it's something a lot of them enjoy, well into adulthood.
Yeah, I thought that he worked out because he was super jacked, and then he's like, no, I Ukrainian dance. And
it's crazy.
I chuckled because I'm like, I thought you were kidding?
Yeah.
And he's like, no, I've been doing my whole life. And then once you put the pieces together, I'm like, what? Should I start? Because like everybody's so fit.
They are all fit. Yes.
I don't know how you guys do that.
And limber. There's a lot of jumps and leaps.
See, my knees can never.
No, that's what Neil said too.
Yeah. We got Just Dance for the kids on Switch, and we were playing it today, and P saw Raw Rasputin, and I preview the dance. I'm like, no, Mom can't do that. There's no way. There's no way Mom can do that.
Music crying.
Yeah.
I'm just watching this.
Yeah. She's like, I can do it. Look, and I'm like, well,
do it.
You're
Keep doing it and don't stop.
Yeah.
Because when you stop, we're hooped.
Oh God, yeah. But it was fun. We had a lot of fun. I couldn't believe how much I was sweating. Like we did like 2 or 3 dances, and like,
oh yeah,
it was crazy.
I used to, when I was teaching, I would use them because you can just find the YouTube video of the dances. I would do those as a brain break.
They do that at school now.
Yeah, it's so fun.
Yeah, they really like it. This is fun.
Perfect.
Well, that's good. Lots of pierogi. Why did I do this? Did you guys go to Banff today?
No. I was afraid. Okay. So I didn't know that Skjorn thing was going on. When I was surprised that you said Banff was the busiest it's ever been.
Yeah.
Now I've heard it on the radio how horribly busy it was. So we didn't end up going today because I'm like, oh, well, I don't know how to risk it. Because they're still doing activities and stuff. And so today was our do nothing day, and the kids and I had a fabulous do nothing day. It's also Sunday sauna day. So I work out and I go sit in the sauna. It's just a me day. I did some laundry. Had a late brunch, read a bunch. The kids were really good, so they would play video games together. And then I said screen break, and they didn't argue about it. S actually started the 1-hour timer on Alexa, and they drew for over an hour because I came back in from the sauna. It's in a attached garage. I'm not like abandoning my children, and my parents were home.
I don't think anybody would question that.
Just like leave them. They're like, oh yeah, I'm sure you did. But the timer had gone off, and they were both still at the dining room table drawing. It was wonderful.
Oh wow, that's really nice.
S was like, yeah, the timer went off, but we were still enjoying it, so we're just drawing. I'm like, Okay. You don't need me at all, do you?
You're like, I need to replicate everything that I did to get up until this point.
I think because we were just so tired from all the things.
Yeah.
And like you, our weeks are so busy that and then we have stuff on Saturday, so Sunday, I'm like, nobody talk to me.
That's the one thing I'm surprised you signed up to do things on Saturday. Saturdays and Sundays are like my holy days.
See, and that Sunday is my holy day, but I think next week I actually have something on Sunday.
Oh, no.
Which I'm concerned about. But tomorrow I drop my parents off at the airport because they go on their thing. Next Sunday is the kids' recital.
Yes.
Sunday. So that's sucking up my Sunday. I think because we have the recital, so we're already out and about, we're going to try to do a day date.
Oh, nice.
So we'll call babysitter, I think.
Oh, well, I mean, the kids could just come over too if you can't find a babysitter.
But it's going to be from like 2 to 7. That's 5 hours.
Oh, I love your kids, but not that much.
No, that's what I mean. I'm like,
that's a lot of hours.
Let's slow down before we come into everything. We are leaving town.
On the day. Yeah, like during the day, it's fine. If it was like from whatever, 10 till 5 or whatever, that's fine. But then once it reaches 5, I'm done usually.
Time to leave. Yeah.
Then I need to sweep.
Do you do that every day?
I try to clean the floors in like some capacity just because. So when C's home after kindergarten, there's like Play-Doh. Painting, coloring, cutting. I don't know if your kids do this. Cutting pieces of paper into like 7,000 pieces of
E did it
paper.
Today even.
Oh my God. I'm like, why? What are you even trying to craft?
And then I asked her to clean it up and she's like, why do I have to clean up after myself?
Yes.
Why don't you do it? I'm like,
he does that
I've
too.
cleaned every other mess of yours today and also laundry. So you could make dinner. You're welcome to sear this chicken and make the stew. Do you want to cut the potatoes and wash them?
Yeah.
No? Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah. C does that too. She hates cleaning up after herself.
Don't cut it into a million fucking pieces then.
I know. It drives me crazy. Anyway, so I usually have to sweep because of that. Because there's always something on the floor from like 12 to 5. And then they eat dinner. And then there's just more random shit on the floor. So I do try to like sweep every day.
That's fair.
At least, or like run the Roomba. But... yes.
I do love my Roomba. That's the only reason my floors get vacuumed as much as they do. It's the only reason.
Are you going Banff on Sunday?
No, we're just going to do something. We don't have any plans.
Oh.
I just asked my husband if he would go on a day date with me.
That's fun.
That is the end of our planning so far.
Okay.
Sometimes he'll plan a really cool, like somewhere different for lunch, or we could go do something, an activity.
Jealous.
Sometimes we see a movie, but we just, we're hyper aware. We always want to make sure we spend time with each other. He was oil field in Fort McMurray and so many divorces. Well, one person in the couple does shift work or after everyone retires and they're living back together again. Yeah. And they just don't know each other anymore. Yeah. In a full-time capacity. So both of us went into this marriage with that in mind. So we tried to make sure we keep our relationship a priority, I should say.
I know. We do have to go on more dates. Mm-hmm. I mean, we had a lot in December. We had our babysitter. She was here, like, basically lived here in December.
Well, everyone does a Christmas party.
Yeah.
Right?
So we had a lot in December. But January, I don't know, we should probably book something. I'm just like, meh.
I know. We went to a late movie a few weeks ago. That was nice.
Was it? That sounds awful.
It was okay because he picked the movie.
Okay.
So he was very excited about it.
Okay, this is also the other thing I had to... because I watched the trailer and I'm like... I always think that I'm cultured until somebody shows me a movie like this. And I'm like, this looks so fucking boring.
Neil loves those movies.
I can't... It's always like... I think I've said this before. The Grammy Award winning movies, or if it's Emmy nominated, super well regarded, I'm like, this is boring me to tears.
Often those suck. Yeah. These are like the independent ones
even
that he
worse
likes.
To me.
Because it was Bradley Cooper, I think, wrote it.
Yeah.
And then I think, what's his name, that Canadian actor?
Ryan
Will
Reynolds.
Arnett.
Oh.
I think he produced it. Like, one of them wrote it, one of it produced it. And then they're both in it a little bit.
Yeah, I just immediately, like, watching the trailer, I was like...
I was just I was frustrated because I thought it portrayed itself as a story about him becoming a comedian, but it was very much more about his marriage. And so a few times, like, I gripped Neil's hand. I'm like, don't you even think about that.
Oh my God.
Because he and his wife in the movie are on a break and so he sleeps with someone else. And
that's like Ross and Rachel.
Yeah. They were not on a break.
No, they were not.
No. Oh. We're on Rachel's side.
Yeah, always on Rachel's side.
Not on a break.
No, I agree.
Anyway, so I had to threaten him a few times. Like, if you think that's even a possibility, you think again, my friend.
You have to keep the zest alive.
Yeah. I know.
Well, I should have actually warned you about this case because it is armed forces adjacent, but
interesting.
It's not Alberta.
All right, well, that's refreshing. It's
Brian was
different.
like, maybe Tim knows him. And I'm like, I don't think he knows all of the army.
It's like growing up in Alberta. Do you know so-and-so? No.
I mean, probably, though. I feel like there's like 6 degrees of separation.
There probably is. Or if you're in the States and they're like, oh, you're from Canada, you must know my buddy so-and-so that lives in Ontario. Pardon me.
I know. When I talk to Americans at work, no offense. There are a couple of Americans that listen to us, so don't be offended. But some Americans, when I talk to them at work, they're like, oh, where in Canada do you live? And I'm like, oh, how do I say this in a way that they're going to understand?
Alberta.
I'm like, Alberta. And they're like, where is that? Is that near Toronto? I'm like, oh my God. Canada is not Toronto.
We at least know the States as a Canadian.
Yes, yeah.
Geographically, I couldn't figure it out, but I could be like, I know it.
I could kind of. The ones that stump me are the Midwest ones. Mm-hmm. Like Ohio, like Centerville. Hello to the Centerville listener, if there is one. That cracked me up.
That was
did a TikTok on the Centerville letters case. And then I check our podcast stats like a couple times a week. I'll refresh it. Mm-hmm. And then I didn't see Centerville on there. And then I did the Centerville case on TikTok. And I looked and there's somebody from Centerville. And I'm like, what have I done?
Ooh, we're on the map now.
But I think it's just coincidence. Or maybe they live in Centerville and they were like, this is a great podcast.
Maybe.
Thank you, Centerville.
Maybe. Thanks,
listener.
Centerville.
Send us an email. I'm very curious. And we still have Australian listeners.
Ooh, well, there you go.
So I will not be doing my Australian accent.
That might be for the best.
Really cool. Also, hello.
Mm-hmm. Shout out.
Yeah, that's great. Well, I'll get into it.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, it's so bad. Okay. You know that feeling when you think that you know someone? When every interaction, every accomplishment, every smile seems to confirm exactly who they are? Now imagine discovering everything that you believed was a carefully constructed lie.
Ooh.
That the person you trusted was living an entirely different life behind closed doors. A life so disturbing and methodically planned that it would shatter not just individual lives, but shake an entire nation's faith in its institutions. You should know about this one, given your... like how you grew up, but I don't know. Today
I don't know why you would think that.
I know. Today we're diving into one of Canada's most shocking criminal cases, a story about a decorated military commander who flew prime ministers and queens and stood as a symbol of honor and duty, and who was secretly one of the country's most depraved predators.
Ew.
This is the story of Colonel Russell Williams.
I maybe saw like a sprinkling. I think I remember seeing a tiny piece.
It's a miracle.
I could not tell you the details. There's not a way.
Well, that's how I will do that for you. So it's 2009.
Okay, so but I wouldn't have been with Neil, so I don't know how I heard it.
Through the grapevine.
Maybe.
I feel like it was talked about quite a bit.
Oh, I think I was in university, so maybe Dad talked about it.
Yeah. So it was on Canada's largest military air base, CFB Trenton in Ontario. And it had just welcomed its new wing commander. This is a prestigious position. CFB Trenton isn't just any base, it's the hub for Canada's foreign and domestic air operations. It's where the bodies of fallen soldiers return home from Afghanistan at that time. And it's where the Highway of Heroes begins, that solemn stretch of road where Canadians line up to honor their military dead.
Oof.
Yeah. And the man now commanding this base was Colonel David Russell Williams. Just a side note, every time I see Colonel, I'm like, Colonel?
Every time, yeah.
Why?
English why is there an
so
R in
weird,
there?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
46 years old, impeccably credentialed with a 23-year military career that read like a textbook example of excellence. He had flown VIP aircraft for Queen Elizabeth II, for Canada's Governor General, and for the Prime Minister. He had a master's degree in defense studies. I didn't know that was a thing. He was, by every measurable standard, exactly the kind of person that you would want in that position. But here's what nobody knew. As Williams was accepting this command, as he was saluting and shaking hands and embodying military honor, he was already deep into his secret life of escalating violence. Ew. He had already broken into dozens of homes, already stolen hundreds of items of women's underwear, and already began sexually assaulting victims in their own homes. And within 5 months of taking command, he would commit his first murder.
Oh, gross.
So let's rewind and talk about how he got here.
Okay.
Because on paper, his life is like a Canadian dream. Mm-hmm. Not my dream, but it is
someone else's dream.
It is like, yeah, it's
good life.
Yes. He was born in England in 1963 in a town called Brom's Grove in Worcestershire. Worcestershire?
You maybe should have ran that one by Google Translate.
Well, it's spelled like Worcestershire sauce. Worcestershire.
It's spelled like Worcestershire?
That's the one.
Okay.
Worcestershire. Whatever. In England, I'm so sorry, English people, if you're listening. I apologize. I'm just a dirty Albertan. His family immigrated to Canada when he was young, settling in Chalk River, Ontario, where his father worked as a... This is going to be another one. Metallurgist.
Metal something agrist?
Yeah, the nuclear research laboratory there. William's childhood had some instability. His parents divorced when he was 6, and his mom remarried a man named Dr. Jerry Sovka. Young David actually took his stepfather's surname for a long time and then moved to Scarborough, which is a suburb of Toronto. The family moved around quite a bit. At one point, they lived in South Korea. Cool. While his stepfather oversaw a reactor project there. But William seemed to adapt. He was educated and driven, and he finished high school at Upper Canada College, which is one of the most elite private schools, apparently.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Never heard of it.
He was even selected as a prefect in his final year, which is a position of student leadership and responsibility. He went on to study economics and political science at the University of Toronto Scarborough, graduating in 1986. Here's a chilling detail. While Williams was at that university, another infamous Canadian criminal, you won't know this, Paul Bernardo, was also there, just 2 years ahead of him.
Did they know each other?
I don't know. So Bernardo, if you don't know, became known as a Scarborough rapist, and then later with his wife Carla Homolka.
Oh, okay. I know that name.
Committed some of Canada's most notorious murders. 2 men who would become monsters passing through the same halls. It's just a coincidence, but...
An eerie coincidence.
It's a little weird.
Yeah, that was weird.
I can't think of any other institution that has 2 murderers.
No. Not that I would know all of them anyway.
No.
But, oh, yeah, that's interesting. Because like when you hear stories about celebrities, a lot of them, or musicians, are often roommates because they go to the same art schools.
Yeah.
Performance arts schools.
This one's like a
There's not really one for making murderers and rapists.
No. I don't know. Maybe because the population of Ontario is so high.
Could be, yeah. There's so many people living there.
Yeah, it's very dense. Mm-hmm. So after graduation, Williams joined the Canadian Forces in 1987. He became a pilot and earned his wings in 1990, which I think means when you can fly a plane.
Yeah, by yourself.
Yeah. And from there, his career just soared, literally and figuratively.
Good one.
He worked his way up through various postings, becoming a captain and then a major. He flew combat support missions, transported VIPs, and served overseas supporting operations in Afghanistan.
Wow.
In 2004, he earned his master's degree with a thesis that actually supported preemptive war in Iraq. Wild to me.
So he's very educated, very clever.
Mm-hmm. By 2009, he had been promoted to colonel, and everything about his trajectory screamed success, discipline, and honor. But apparently, even back in his university days, there were hints of something off. His roommates later said that Williams would pick their door locks and then hide in rooms for hours just to surprise them when they came in. Which I've definitely done that, but not like picking locks and hiding for hours. Like I hid in your house.
Yeah, well, you kind of inadvertently. You were waiting. There wasn't agreed upon time.
But I just like to scare
But then you got bored of waiting. So no, I don't think you would wait for hours.
No. I waited for like 20 minutes.
No, that's fair. Yeah.
And then I got annoyed.
There were some chatters. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would do a quick, I hear the door rattling.
Yeah.
Hide around a corner.
Yeah, I wouldn't like plan it out like that.
No.
So to me, that is weird.
Yeah, the hours thing. That's resilience that I don't understand.
But maybe it's military. I don't know.
Or like psycho.
Yeah. At the time, it probably seemed like weird pranks, but looking back, it feels like something else, which is an early manifestation of the intrusive, violating behavior that would define his crimes. Because also, if somebody said, like, I was hiding in your house for hours, I'd be like, what were you looking at?
Yeah, what's going on? That's where all my stuff is.
Yeah. Not that I have, like, things to hide in my house, but, like, that's just weird.
Yeah,
you know?
It's intimate. It would feel like not a betrayal, but a...
Intrusion.
Yes, it would feel like an intrusion. A violation.
Yeah, that's the word.
Sorry,
yeah.
that's the word.
So when did things actually start? When did Colonel Williams begin his double life? Based on the investigation, he began breaking into homes in September of 2007. So think about that date. He was already a lieutenant colonel at that point, already flying dignitaries and being trusted with some of Canada's most sensitive military operations. And he was breaking into people's homes to steal their underwear.
Ew.
The pattern was methodical. He would break into homes, usually when the occupants were away, and steal lingerie, underwear, bathing suits, and shoes. But it wasn't...
Shoes?
Yeah, that's a weird one. I mean, all of it is weird.
Yeah, but shoes...
Why?
Is double weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But it wasn't just theft. He would take pictures of himself wearing these items.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
No, that's a different layer.
This case...
Why? Are the pictures still up?
Oh, fuck. They're terrible.
Yeah.
He would also pleasure himself while he was wearing them. He would take hundreds, sometimes thousands of photos, carefully
Categorized?
cataloging
Oh,
everything.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
It's like you tried to
Technically, English is my second language, so...
I suppose.
Yeah. Okay, and here's what's particularly disturbing. He targeted homes where young girls lived.
Oh.
Police later determined that some of his victims were as young as 9 years old. He was stealing children's underwear and taking pictures of himself in it.
Gross.
By the time he was caught, investigators had linked him to 82 separate break-ins.
Jeez.
I know that there's cases where it's higher, but to me, like a military person, I'm like 82.
That seems excruciatingly high.
Yeah. Anyways, 82 homes violated, 82 families who would later learn that this decorated military officer had been in their most private spaces going through their most intimate belongings.
Oh, and if it was your children's room,
Yeah.
oh, that's an extra layer of ick.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
But Williams was meticulous. He kept detailed logs of his crimes. He monitored police reports to see if his break-ins were actually being investigated. And then he returned to some of the same homes multiple times.
Holy.
It was calculated, obsessive, and escalating at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And as we know from criminal psychology, these kind of behaviors rarely stay static. They escalate. The thrill diminishes and the perpetrator needs to do more to achieve the same high. It's like drugs.
Yeah. Shoplifting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. For Williams, the escalation was inevitable and horrifying. In September of 2009, Williams crossed a new line. He didn't just break into homes to steal anymore. He started to attack women.
Oh, my.
That month, he committed 2 violent home invasions near the town of Tweed, Ontario, where he and his wife owned a cottage.
Oh, he was married.
Mm-hmm. In both cases, he broke in while the women were home, bound them, blindfolded them, and then forced them to pose for photographs. These weren't murders, but they were brutal violations. Yeah. The women were terrorized in their own homes by a masked intruder who controlled every aspect of the assault.
Ew.
One of these victims was Lori Messicote. I'm so sorry if I butchered that. She would later sue Williams and receive a $7 million settlement in 2016. But
Good.
Again, no amount of money. And actually, a lot of the times, that settlement is just like a gesture.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rarely do they get the money.
Oh, I'd be so mad.
Yeah. The fear, the helplessness, and the knowledge that somebody invaded your safe space with such calculated violence.
Oh, that'd be horrendous. You'd probably have to move, I think. Mm-hmm.
At this point, he was still commanding CFB Trenton.
Yeah.
So in November 2009 is when he became a murderer. His victim was Corporal Marie-France Comeau.
Oh, no.
Comeau, a 37-year-old military traffic technician who was stationed at CFB Trenton, Williams' own base. She was under his command. He was her superior officer and somebody who she would have been trained to trust and obey, which is fucking terrifying.
That's awful.
Williams knew her flight schedule, and he had access to that information through his position. He knew when she would be alone in her home.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's awful.
And on that November night, he broke in and waited for her. When she arrived home, he attacked her. He beat her with a flashlight so brutally that, in his own words during his confession, her skull gave way and she was immediately unconscious. And then he strangled her. But before he killed her, he raped her repeatedly.
Repeatedly? Oh.
During that assault, she begged for her life. She said, quote, "Have a heart, please. I've been really good. I want to live," unquote.
Aww.
Yeah.
That's horrendous.
Like, let that sink in. Like, a military corporal, literally your boss, somebody who's trained to be strong and capable, reduced to begging her commanding officer for mercy, and he showed her none. Fuck, it's wicked to me. After he killed her, Williams placed her body in her garage and then went back to the base. When police later asked him why he returned so quickly, his answer was chilling. Quote, "I was flying early the next morning," unquote, as if he just completed a routine task and needed to get back to work.
Yeah, back to business.
Fucking...
Wow.
I know.
Yikes.
But here's what makes it even more twisted. After murdering Marie France, Williams attended her funeral. He sent a condolence letter to her family, playing the role of a grieving commander mourning the loss of one of his personnel.
Wow.
The absolute calculated cruelty of that act, pretending to care while knowing exactly what he had done to her, is beyond comprehension. Mm-hmm. 2 months later, in January 2010, Williams struck again. Jessica Lloyd was 27 years old, living alone in her house in Belleville, Ontario. On January 28th, she disappeared. Her family immediately knew that something was wrong because this wasn't like her. Police began investigating and found something crucial: distinctive tire tracks in the snow along the north tree line of her property, about 100 meters from her house. What had happened to Jessica Lloyd was perhaps Williams' most sustained and sadistic crime. He had broken into her home, kidnapped her, tied her up, and held her captive for hours. He forced her to wear lingerie that he had stolen from other victims. He sexually assaulted her repeatedly, and then he took hundreds of photographs of her during this ordeal. And then he killed her. He used duct tape to suffocate her, and after she was dead, he disposed of her body in a remote location.
Oh, gosh. Did she work with him, too? Or under him?
Doesn't say. Yeah, I couldn't find any connection to that. But he had made a mistake. Those tire tracks in the snow, that was the thread that would unravel everything.
Oh, wow.
After Jessica Lloyd's disappearance, the Ontario Provincial Police launched a massive investigation. They needed to find those distinctive tire treads. So on February 4th, 2010, exactly 1 week after Lloyd vanished, police set up a roadblock on the highway near her home. From 7 p.m. to 6 a.m. the next morning, they stopped every vehicle and checked the tires. And guess who drove through that checkpoint?
Wow. Mm-hmm. That's pretty impressive.
But here's an interesting detail. Williams usually drove a BMW, but that day he was driving his Nissan Pathfinder. Why? We don't know for certain. Maybe the BMW was in the shop. Maybe it was a coincidence.
Maybe he was reliving it.
But that Pathfinder had the distinctive tire treads that police were looking for. The officer who stopped Williams noticed a similarity. The treads were documented, and then later they were matched definitively to the tracks found at Jessica Lloyd's property. Then on February 7th, 2010, Williams was at his home in Westboro, an Ottawa suburb where his wife lived full-time. He got a call from the Ottawa Police Service asking him to come in for questioning, and this is where both of his worlds came crashing down. 3 p.m. that day, Williams walks into police headquarters, and he was met by OPP Detective Sergeant Jim Smyth, who would conduct one of the most remarkable interrogations in Canadian criminal history. The interrogation was videotaped, and the footage has since been studied by law enforcement agencies around the world as an example of effective technique.
Wow. Interesting.
I know. When I watch these interrogations, I know I could be a good finder of information because I'm really good at that, and I'm good at picking up patterns. Mm-hmm. I can't interrogate somebody. I'd be like, just fucking tell me. Oh my God. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have the patience that these detectives do. Mm-hmm. And I know that it's trained. They can get information out of anybody.
But I think really good ones are far superior than mediocre ones.
Yeah, when I worked at that place, I took they made us take a course on like negotiating prices or something with vendors. And the guy who ran the course was a hostage negotiator.
Wow.
And he would like run these things, and I'd be like, can you give me less money? I just don't have that gene, you know?
Yeah. It's like haggling when you go on a tropical vacation. I don't have that either.
I know. I'll walk away if the price is too high, and I'll say that's too high, thanks. Mm-hmm. But like, that's pretty much it. That's where I draw the line.
Yeah. I had to take like a mental health first aid thing, and then I think there was a separate how to talk someone down.
Yeah.
From attempting suicide.
Yeah.
So I've had to do some of that stuff, but I'm not saying I'm a hostage negotiator. I think you can have the tools and everyone can get the same training, but it takes a unique person to really embed it and then work with it. So that this person is now studied, they are obviously an amazing human being.
I agree. So Smyth was patient, methodical, and strategic. He started by establishing rapport, giving Williams space to think that he might still control the situation. So cool. But as the hours went on, Smyth began presenting the evidence, the tire tracks, the boot prints, and forensic details that Williams could not explain away. And slowly you can see Williams beginning to understand that there's no way out. His body language changes and he starts to fold in on himself.
See, and that's why I had a hard time when you said the treads. Because what were a Nissan Pathfinder and then you buy winter tires? There'd still be so many, but I guess it's an opening, right? It narrows the scope quite a bit for you, and then you can kind of...
You would probably have to be in that area,
well,
right?
Yeah, so there would be traffic cameras or something. There would be a few things that would line up.
Yeah.
But right away, when you said distinctive tread marks, bad tires.
I think...
You'd get the make and model. You'd probably be able to make and model it based on how far apart everything is. I don't know.
I've seen some cases where get tire tread and they would go to the manufacturer and then they would be like, how many of these tires did you make and how many did you distribute to this warehouse in Ontario? And then that's how they would narrow it down.
Yeah, it's interesting.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
You think that you could be hiding, not be seen or whatever, like not sharing data. The amount of information that somebody could find on you just based on everyday surveillance is shocking.
Oh yeah, probably.
Body language changes and he starts to fold in on himself. By 7:45 p.m., less than 5 hours after the interrogation began, Williams started confessing.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
I know. Not just to Jessica Lloyd's murder, but to everything. The 82 break-ins, stolen underwear, and the sexual assaults, and the murder of Marie-France Comeau. All of it. And here's what's striking about his confession. Williams showed more concern for how his actions would appear to others than what he had actually done.
That makes sense, because he was still willing to do it, but he'd still show up for work regularly.
Yeah.
And there's enough of that drilled into him, prestige of being a pilot, so on and so forth. Yeah, I can see that.
Truly a double life.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So he said, quote, "When you talk about my perception, my only two immediate concerns from a perception perspective are what my wife must be going through right now and the impact that this is going to have on the Canadian Forces," unquote. Not showing any remorse for his victims and not horror at his own actions, but worry about perception, about image, and the institution that he had betrayed and the wife that he had deceived. He described the murders in matter-of-fact terms with clinical detachment as if he were briefing a mission report. When discussing Comeau, Marie-France, he explained how her skull gave way when he beat her. And when talking about Jessica Lloyd, he recounted the hours of captivity and the forced posing and stolen lingerie, the photographs, and the final suffocation.
Holy moly, I hope this guy got good therapy after.
Well...
I mean, the interviewer.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't think therapy will fix him.
No, not that guy.
Yeah.
There's no fixing crazy.
No.
But, yeah, the poor
investigator. All delivered in the same flat, emotionless tone. And by the end of the interrogation, Williams even drew a map showing where he had disposed of Lloyd's body. And then the next morning, police found her remains exactly where he said.
Wow.
So Williams was formally charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder, multiple counts of sexual assault, forcible confinement, and breaking and entering. Later, 82 additional charges related to all of those break-ins were added. And the news hit Canada like an earthquake. This wasn't just any criminal. This was the commander of Canada's largest military base. Somebody who had flown the Queen. Somebody who represented honor, duty, and trust at the highest level. The Canadian Forces immediately removed Williams from command and stripped his biography from the Department of National Defense website.
Oof.
An interim commander was appointed within days. Police services across the country began reopening unsolved cases in areas where Williams had been stationed, wondering if there were more victims that they didn't know about. When police searched Williams' Ottawa home, they found a horrifying collection. Thousands of photographs cataloging his crimes, stolen underwear and lingerie, neatly stored and organized, videos of his assaults and murders. It was all there, meticulously documented, as if he were keeping some kind of twisted archive.
How was his wife oblivious to this?
You know what? I think there's a lot of wives that aren't nosy. I am so fucking incredibly nosy.
Yeah.
There's no way. Right? Yeah. But I think there's just some wives that are just...
Go about your day, honey.
And I mean, even you're married to a very high up person in the Canadian military.
Yeah, maybe there's some deference to him.
Right? I don't know. I can't think of my husband doing anything this sadistic and insane. And she probably thought the same thing because he had a double life. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
In one particularly disturbing incident, investigators found evidence that Williams had broken into a 12-year-old girl's bedroom and left a message on her computer that just said, "Merci."
Ew.
Thank you in French.
Yeah.
The casual cruelty of that is...
It's awful.
Fucking disgusting.
Asshole.
Williams' trial began in October of 2010, but there wasn't really much of a trial because he pled guilty. Mm-hmm. His lawyer had indicated that this would happen, perhaps because the evidence was so overwhelming there's no point in dragging the victims through a trial.
Good.
But even though he pled guilty, the first day of court revealed details that shocked even those who thought that they understood the scope of his crimes. Crown attorney Robert Morrison presented hundreds of photographs that Williams had taken, images of him dressed in stolen underwear and bras, and the pleasuring himself on victims' beds and posing in children's clothing. Some of these photos were published in newspapers, which sparked a debate about whether that was appropriate.
I don't think it's appropriate.
No. But many publications argue that these images captured the true nature of Williams' crimes and the public needed to understand what had happened.
But he was already guilty. I don't think that's necessary.
No, because you're just re-traumatizing the victims again.
You are, but also, especially when it's the children's things, no, that's a line too far.
I don't think that they did that. I think you can definitely find that.
Yeah, and I don't think we should be able to.
No.
I feel like that's another, like last week. Where are the internet police? Yeah, where are the internet police?
I know.
And this shit.
I know. So the court proceedings revealed the progression of his crimes. He started with simple break-ins and then escalated to taking photos and then sexual assault without penetration and then finally rape and murder.
Sorry, the word penetration just gets me every time.
It's a gross word.
Mm-hmm. Which is funny because moist is fine, but penetration?
Not to me.
Really? Moist?
Oh,
you want a moist slice of chocolate cake?
No. I say dense.
That is not the same word at all.
Because you're not going to have a dry, dense cake. I'm a baker, I know.
You could have a dry, dense cake.
I've never had one before. If it's dense, it's dense because of moisture. Do you see?
I disagree, but we can agree to disagree.
I want you to make me a dry, dense cake.
Deal.
Are you thinking of like cornbread? Cornbread is dense.
No, if I really overcooked cornbread, it would be dense and dry.
I've always ever had dry, disgusting cornbread. I've never had cornbread where I'm like, this is really good. Like
dense and
it just makes me so thirsty. I don't understand the point of cornbread.
No, it's fair. I don't love cornbread either.
This is a crazy tangent.
Sorry, please continue.
Okay. So on October 22nd, 2010, Ontario Superior Court Justice Robert F. Scott sentenced Williams to 2 concurrent life sentences with no possibility of parole for 25 years. Which, thank God, because...
Just never give him any chance of parole. I don't know why even give him a glimmer of hope at 25.
Yeah, and he also received additional sentences for the sexual assaults and other crimes. So, like, he's not going to get out. And Canada...
He might, though.
Canada can be pretty lenient with some criminal charges. This one, I'm like, good. I mean, I think it's like the most that he can do. We don't have life, or we don't have
life.
Yeah, because I don't think he's going to get in parole in 25 years. 25 years from 2010. I don't want to know how close that is.
2035.
Oh my God, that's fucking 9 years away?
Yep.
That was quick math.
It was 10 plus 25. Okay.
Oh, I told you. We talked earlier about homeschooling, and I said I can't homeschool.
Okay, anyway, yeah, so that's what I mean. Even he shouldn't even have a glimmer of a shade of a chance of hope.
I don't think that he would be able to get out in 2035 for parole.
He would be so highly likely to reoffend.
So likely to reoffend. Doesn't matter what kind of model prisoner he is or how much therapy.
Because he would be a model prisoner. Because he was raised in the military. Yeah, he would be very.
Also, he's probably having an awful time.
I hope so. I hope he's having an awful time. I wonder if he's in a military prison or like thrown in with the rest of the hooligans in regular prison.
So the punishment went beyond prison. The Governor General of Canada, on recommendation of the Chief of Defence Staff, revoked Williams' commission and expelled him from the armed forces. He was he was stripped of his rank of colonel and all of his military decorations. His uniform was burned. His medals were cut into pieces. Yeah, I love it.
That's spiteful, though.
No, I love it.
That's a whole extra layer
very
of spite.
Spiteful. Okay. And like the crimes that this guy did, I'm like, yeah, good. If they didn't do this, I'd be like, you could have done more. I'm very spiteful.
Okay, so yeah, because you don't want him in any way
and like he's
associated with the Canadian military.
Yeah,
it's shitty because it does sound like he had some achievements, but to be such a horrible dirtbag.
Mm-hmm.
that
I don't
it
even care about its
overshadows
achievements.
all of the. Yeah, no, that's fair. It is spiteful though.
Because you had a dark side.
The whole time from university.
Yeah. So like you tricked all of these people into getting so high up into the military, and the country trusted you, literally.
Well, and people know when people are weird.
And that's the thing is,
if you're a weirdo, like everyone always, like he would not be not a weirdo in public. He would just be a little less weird, and you'd be like, oh, well, that guy's fucking weird.
Yeah, like I think that he is a psychopath. Yeah, so like this level of like cutting his medals into pieces, I'm like, yes, good.
Okay.
Right? Because like just the level of psychopathy. Good word.
Good one.
Tally can't talk about anything else, but his commission scroll was shredded, and even his Nissan Pathfinder was crushed and scrapped. Also, imagine his wife. If I was his wife, I would want fucking every shred.
I bet you his wife is the one who crushed that car.
Yeah, like every reminder of this man.
It's just a vehicle.
Yeah.
Unless there was like gross evidence in it.
I don't even know. So gross. In military tradition, this was essentially a degradation ceremony, the symbolic destruction of somebody who had betrayed everything that the military stands for.
Yeah.
Interestingly, though, Williams was allowed to keep his military pension of $60,000 per year because terminating it would have required an act of parliament. Which I'm like, well, you did all that. Like, you could have just... I mean, and I don't know what that actually means, but I'm like, I feel like this could have been expedited.
Well, it'll probably go to the wife.
I guess.
He wouldn't get it. He's in prison.
Yeah. Well, while he went to prison, the victims he had left behind had tried to rebuild their lives. Jessica Lloyd's family had lost a daughter, a sister, and a loved one in the most horrific way imaginable. Marie France Comeau's family had to grapple with the fact that she had been murdered by her own commanding officer, somebody who she had been trained to trust and respect. And the two women who survived his sexual assaults had to live with the trauma of what he had done. Lori Massicote eventually received the settlement, and then Jessica Lloyd's family also reached a settlement. They could get all the money in the world. That's not going to erase the trauma.
No, I'll never erase it, but I would help them move.
For sure. I'd fucking move so far away.
Yeah.
But there were all of those other victims, the 82 families whose homes he had broken into, whose intimate belongings he had stolen, whose kids' underwear he had photographed himself wearing.
Ugh.
And many of them probably didn't even realize that they had been victimized until police contacted them.
That's
like,
horrible.
Imagine getting that call. Learning that, hey, a trusted military commander had been in your daughter's room and gone through her drawers and then violated her spaces in ways that you don't even want to comprehend or think about.
Gross. Did they have dogs? That's what I want to know. They had dogs.
I mean, fucking Hank is so useless. You've seen him. Yeah. He's gotten scary a couple of times.
But they're at least loud.
Yeah. And the times that he was scary, I'm like, are you going to fucking attack this guy? It was the guy who delivered, not this TV, Brian's TV, the big one in the garage. I picked up one end of it because it's fucking massive. And he kind of came into the house, and Hank, I thought, was going to murder him.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know if he could sense something.
Maybe.
But I've never seen Hank like that. You know Hank.
Yeah, Hank is he brings me his toy every time I come over.
Yeah.
He's like, look at this toy. It's the same one as last week.
And that's what the dogs would do.
Like,
yeah. They'd just be like, hi, here's a toy.
Yeah. Let me show you where all the stuff is hidden. Yeah.
Do you see Mom and Dad's room?
Say, come on.
God, yeah.
No, Ivy, like, because she has stranger danger, I think she would hurt somebody.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Not in an unsafe way.
No.
But I do think if we weren't home, or if the kids were home alone and someone tried to get in, I'm pretty confident Ivy would.
Robin would be like, oh my God, hi.
Yeah. Robin would be like, why are we barking?
A new friend.
And Daisy would be like 20 minutes later, did something happen?
Exactly. It's an apt. Harold is blind. I don't even think that he would realize anything. William's wife, Mary Elizabeth Harriman, began divorce proceedings in December of 2010. She requested that all of her financial and medical information be sealed by the court, presumably to protect her privacy as she tried to distance herself from the man that she'd been married to since 1991. Holy fuck. The divorce took years to finalize, and her sealing request was ultimately denied in 2020.
No,
Give this woman
sealed
something.
her stuff for her.
Yeah. It's very hard to not feel sympathy for her. She didn't know. She was an associate director of the Heart and Stroke Foundation of Canada.
Oh, no.
She was a respected professional living what she thought was a normal life with a successful husband.
So maybe they were both so busy that she didn't notice his weird schedule or anything.
I just can't imagine the devastation she felt. I can't. So I feel horrible for everybody involved in this case. But, like, just putting myself in Mary Elizabeth's shoes. What?
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
And it's the same for the victims too. The 82 victims who didn't know that had happened. Then you start to rethink everything that had happened. And then you're like, oh, well, this was weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
was this something when I thought it was nothing 2 years ago?
Your mind gets no peace.
No. And it'll always worry then.
Yes, exactly. How do we make sense of this? How did someone like Russell William happen? There's not a simple answer. Psychologists or criminologists have studied cases like this extensively. And what they have found is people like Williams are extraordinarily good at compartmentalization. Which I always say that I'm good at. Maybe I'm not, because this is fucking psychotic. I can't compartmentalize that much. I can barely even say the word.
No, I can tell you right now I'm not good at it.
No. I think I can do it in ways of like, okay, for example, like when my grandparents died. Like I was sad about it, but I was pregnant. So I was like, okay, I'm going to be sad about it this time. And then I'm going to focus on being pregnant and the pandemic and 17 other things that were happening in my life at that point. And then I would slot in time. I'm like, I'm going to be sad about it here. Yeah. Which probably to the outside makes me look like a crazy person. But that's how I would deal with traumatic and heavy things. Fair. This level of compartmentalization is...
Yeah, I think this is different. Yeah, this is more extreme.
So they can genuinely function at high levels in their professional lives while engaging in horrific behavior in private.
Yikes.
And some experts have noted that William seemed to have a need for control and power that manifested in increasingly extreme ways. The break-ins gave him control over people's private spaces, and the theft of intimate items gave him a sense of possessing something forbidden. The sexual assault gave him complete power over his victims, and finally, murder gave him the ultimate control, the power over life and death. And then his military training and personality may have actually facilitated this. The discipline, the attention to detail, and the ability to plan and execute missions, exactly the skills that made him a successful officer, but an effective predator. Ugh. And there's also the question of how he maintained his facade for so long. He was described by his colleagues as, there's going to be a word in here, professional, competent, and...
charismatic.
No one suspected anything.
Oh, come on. Nobody reads people at all. Like, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Someone's not talking. Someone's not saying he was a weird asshole.
Or, I don't know, because I've met people where I'm like, there's something about you, but they're like in such a high position of power or something where I'm like, maybe you're just this way because you're in power. Nah, like CEOs and like VPs, I'm like, I don't know, maybe this is a weird leadership thing. And maybe I don't understand it because I'm just a nobody. You know what I mean? Like, that's, you gaslight yourself, I think. Right?
So. I bet you people knew he was a weirdo. They obviously wouldn't know to what extent, but they're like, oh, there's something wrong with this guy.
Or they were probably like, again, sometimes I can't pinpoint what it is about a person. It's just something that I'm like...
Yeah, your radar's going off.
Yes, and then I just file it away. And then when it comes back, I'm like, I knew it.
Yeah. Yeah, I knew something was wrong with that guy.
I wonder if it's like something like that.
Maybe.
Some people have also pointed to his childhood, the divorce, the family moves, the pranks. But plenty of people experience unstable childhoods without becoming serial criminals. There's the question of, are you born a psychopath or do you become a psychopath? And nobody really knows the answer.
What are your thoughts?
I think that or maybe it's either or, whoever has studied it. But I think you can be born with a psychopathic gene. And then something traumatic, I think, has to like trigger it to activate. And for some, I don't know, I come from a divorced family, and then like sometimes when I read, my parents divorced, and it's usually like a male criminal, and I'm not bashing men here, but usually if it's like a male criminal, and they're like, my parents divorced, so I decided to ruin women's lives for the rest of eternity. What are you talking about? Yeah. Get a grip.
Yeah.
Like,
go to therapy like a normal fucking person.
My parents divorced, and I had a horrible childhood. I'm hilarious now. Just be funny.
Just be funny. What's the matter with you? Use your trauma like the rest of us do.
Yeah, so like people pointing to his childhood, I'm like, okay, relax.
Yeah.
Like he moved.
We're not listening to his podcast.
Yeah, like he moved a couple of times and then got divorced. Like his parents got divorced. I don't know. The pranks, maybe. That's kind of a weird thing. And there's also the Donald triad. The triad of why can't I talk today?
I'm not sure.
Whatever. So it refers to 3 childhood behaviors that were once thought to be linked to violent or serial offending later in life: the bedwetting, fire setting, arson, and cruelty to animals. That was proposed in 1963 by psychiatrist J.M. MacDonald.
Oh, okay. The MacDonald triad?
That's the one.
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
triad. Why?
I'm not sure what's happening.
The English has left my brain today.
That's okay.
The Williams case had ripple effects far beyond the immediate victims. It shook the Canadian military to its core. Here was somebody who had been entrusted with enormous responsibility, who has been promoted repeatedly, and he was a serial rapist and murderer. The case prompted serious questions about screening and oversight. How did Williams pass all the security clearances required for his position? Because you have to take even to be a cop, you have to take a psych evaluation. Mm-hmm. How did nobody notice any warning signs? What changes needed to be made to prevent something like this from happening again? The then Chief of Defense Staff, General Walter N., called Williams' actions a fundamental breach of trust, duty, and valor, and he was right. Because the military, as you know, is built on trust between service members, trust between commanders and subordinates, and trust between the military and the public. Mm-hmm. There was also the broader social impact. The case became a symbol of how hidden evil can be, and people started to look at their neighbors differently and question everybody's assumptions about, are you safe or are you not? He is currently serving his life sentence at Port Cartier Institution, a maximum security prison in Quebec. He was initially held at Kingston Penitentiary in segregation, but was transferred when that facility began to close. In April 2010, while he was awaiting trial, he was placed on suicide watch after he tried to kill himself by wedging a cardboard toilet paper roll down his throat.
That wouldn't have done it.
So he's now 61 years old. Under his sentence, he won't be eligible, you are right, until 2035 when he'll be 72. But given that it's multiple first-degree murders, it's unlikely that he'll ever be released.
Good.
There's actually a provision in Canadian law called the Faint Hope Clause that sometimes allows earlier parole consideration, but it doesn't apply to people convicted of multiple murders.
Good.
So he's going to die in prison.
Excellent.
Most likely. Every few years, there's some sort of small news item that comes out. In 2012, the Canadian Forces had to destroy 4,000 copies of a booklet because it accidentally had a picture of Williams visible in the background.
Yikes. Okay, that's pretty particular.
Yeah.
How many people would actually notice that?
I don't know. But imagine if it got out and then social media, right?
If it happened now, it'd be horrendous.
Yeah. So the military felt that the image was offensive and they didn't want any trace of him in their materials. Mostly, he's faded away from daily headlines. He's just another inmate in maximum security prison.
Good.
This one, I think, is one of those cases that stays with you because it's disturbing, not because of what he did, which is certainly horrific enough, but because of who he was and because he represents this terrifying reality that evil doesn't look like what we think it looks like. Mm-hmm. Although now that you know the story, when you look at him, you're like, yeah, he looks evil. But if you didn't know. It doesn't always announce itself. Sometimes it wears a uniform, and sometimes it salutes and smiles and flies the queen. Imagine her. Yes, actually.
I fucking knew it. I told you.
Imagine the queen finding this news out. Do you think they told her?
That's my first thing. She's so old. Did she care?
Well, at 2012, I don't think she was that old. Well, she's older. But the queen was pretty mentally sharp, I think.
I think so too. I agree with you. I was just being an asshole. Oh, I'd be so mad. No, as the queen, that'd be embarrassing for her. And not that she did anything wrong, but you're like that guy that's been flying us around.
And maybe also that's why they had to take
met 100 times?
all of these steps to have any sign of him removed, right? Because he fucking flew the queen.
You don't want anyone to be connected with this dirtbag. That's horrendous.
I think about Marie-France Comeau begging for her life. I think about Jessica Lloyd's family searching for her while her killer went about his daily routines at base. I think about all those families whose homes were violated, whose children's rooms were invaded, and I think about how Williams hid all of this behind a mask of military honor and respectability. And if there's a lesson here, and I'm not sure there's a simple one, it might be that we need to be vigilant. Not paranoid like I am, but aware that darkness can hide anywhere, and we need to listen to victims and believe them when they report violations. And we need systems in place that actually work to catch predators, not just promote them. Mm-hmm. And you need to remember the victims, not just the names that made headlines, but all 82 families who were violated. Each person whose life was touched by Williams' crimes. They're the ones who really matter here. Russell Williams may be forgotten in his prison cell, stripped of rank and honor, but his victims have to carry what he did to them every single day, and that's the real legacy of this case. Not the fall of a decorated commander, but the lives that he destroyed along the way.
Mm-hmm. It would have been like an ultimate betrayal too, as for those service members, well, any service members at that point, because like regardless of your experience in the military, there is a hierarchy of command, right? And it would just be such a detrimental hit. Like I can completely understand how this would be a hard hit to the military.
Yeah.
It's like organized religion when there were all those horrible priests coming out, all those reports, I don't know, 20 years ago now. But that was also a gigantic hit.
Yeah, I agree. In a way, you have to do PR.
Yeah,
because like,
you do have to do
the
PR.
armed forces can't be viewed as an institution that'll let this person in. I also don't think it's really their fault, because if he is clearly very good at hiding who he truly is.
Yeah, and that he compartmentalized it. How would they have caught him?
Sorry for ruining your day.
Bye.
Bye.